Hello there everyone and welcome back. I feel like two of those matches there I was being severely handicapped a little bit when you consider that dang bug, whatever the hell it is, that's been denying my retribution, my overlords their shots in the last episode. But I think I have a theory on to what's causing it. I think it's related to stasis bombs in all honesty. I'm not sure exactly how or why, but it may not exactly be because it stopped firing, it's just because my rate of fire is being slowed just like my movement speed. That is my theory anyway. I just have no idea if that's true or not. I'm gonna have to continue on and just pay close attention to stasis bombs some more and see if it consistently happens, because it seems like that was the case when I was fighting Dark Wraith, because he was using stasis bombs, and was it Mad Ted, Mad Max, I can't remember the Imperial Navy player, but he was using stasis bombs as well, so it's not entirely out of the question. I just don't know exactly what's causing it, because otherwise it'd be happening all the time if it was just planting down the stasis bombs itself, mind you. But nonetheless, let's continue on with this series. Let's continue on with some more matches, and I think this will be the last handful of matches I do for this year at least, so I'm going to be enjoying my holiday for a change, and it's going to feel nice, I gotta say. But I will talk more about that afterwards, so let's get to the actual matches, shall we? Alright, 450 points here, so that puts him at what, Admiral level 4, maybe Admiral level 5, I think? And if Admiral level 5, he has access to, like, either his Stronghold or his Bastion if he so wishes, or hell, he could even have Recruit War Spears, so we're going to try and be a little more lighter on my fleet comp, but I need to try and make sure I have the firepower to kind of brute force my way through. So mobility is kind of key. I only got like a single lance ship, which will still be pretty handy here. And I like the idea of the Dictator strictly because of all the secret missiles and bombs he could field towards me. So is it a good idea to go with so many firestorms though, in all honesty? Is there a way I can compromise a bit? No. If I had a second Mark II or a Lance Dauntless, I could actually fit it in there, mind you, but this feels a little bit too light. Doesn't seem like enough firepower, especially with how susceptible the firestorms are. I kind of would like... I could go with Tyrant, but I like the idea of the bombers. I have lots of lances to kind of brute force and get the good focus firing, so it's like I said, we'll try something a little bit different. We're not going to try the straight up standard composition, because he may not know how to handle it, assuming this is a new player, so I'm throwing him a bit of a bone here, but at the same time, these lances are going to be really good with the range increase to keep hitting the target I want if he is going to try and run away from me. But when it is a protector, so that works well for me for dealing with his any adaptive deflectors he may have against his 75 armor if he chooses to engage me. And again, I have a Dictator to heavily negate his bomber potential, especially if he doesn't have the energy shields just yet for said bomber. So now it just begs the question, is he going to have the foresight to try and deploy behind in this gas cloud behind the asteroid belt or not? I still have the better mobility, assuming he is not using air cache, mind you, so I could safely deploy in the middle regardless. It's just my Dictator is going to be a little bit behind, just a tiny bit because of its slower speed, but so long as I know what ships he's focusing on in terms of his bombers, I should be okay. Oh, let's see. Let me make sure these are all prioritized properly. There we go. I was wondering why the Dictator was still on broadside when I saw... Okay. Okay, we are looking good here. Let's turn off the auto gauge because I keep forgetting to do that, damn it. It may not be a terrible thing, but it does mean my frigates are going to rebel more often than not when I have specific plans in mind, especially when I'm trying to play a more slower style. So, I don't have very many torpedoes, of course, but we do have a messenger. That I clearly see. Now, I am going to boost on through. I have the... Do I boost? He is not moving just yet. Yeah, let's boost. He's already repositioning. And I have the better mobility. My Dictator, again, is going to fall behind slightly, so I need to be careful. Oops, that's not what I want. I want to turn on my focus firing, because I forget what the hotkey is. I think I have it set to M, but at the same time that also turns off my music, the background music, so that's kind of why I'm manually doing it. So I can Auger Disruptor to kind of buy me some time. I have brace for impact to heavily negate the firepower potential here. And I gotta be mindful of bombers. Just gotta watch for that. As my frigates all lock on. Let's see, let me make sure these are frigates. I would hate to lock on with my dictator because it's kind of not needed. Now, this is going to take a big hit there, but most of the bombers got shot down, so only one actual bomber hit me. So I could just go in for the ram, I have the health for it, but I think that's honestly the dictator's job. The dictator has the health and durability for it, and I'm kind of killing his frig as a bonus at the same time. So, brace for impact will heavily mitigate these seeker missiles. My dictator helps shoot them down some. And again, my dictator is going to go in and ruin his day. Let's just make sure he does not get a ram if he's going to try and ram these frigates. So getting close, get the ram. I may not have a brace for impact, mind you, but the auger disruptor is entirely questionable, but once I get in the gas cloud, it'll definitely be worth it in a moment or two, because he's turning his attention on this thing right now. So let's punish him for that, see? Very straightforward, mind you. Very damn straightforward. I have another auger disruptor to continue with said jamming. So he loses complete vision, but let's hide my... I lost the frigate. I would like to preserve what I can, in all honesty. But this thing's about to have his shields back up anyway, so finish it off. I lost 2 frigates, so he is getting some value out of this. I want to ram him. I want to hit him with torpedoes. It's not going to happen. Now, wait for the torpedoes. There, this should kill him. That is game. And I did lose 3 firestorms, so not really much to it, I'm afraid to say, but he gets his outer levels in for the rest of his fleet, so that pays off for him. And he did turn his prow to me, which did maximize his damage potential, but again, my prow, my lances don't really care about that. Hell, I think at least my lance dauntless had the additional shield damage upgrade, I think, to do bonus damage to shields, so I don't think even adaptive deflectors was all that impactful. I just didn't have it for my, my firestorms, mind you. I think they just have the extended range to their lances, and then increased shields and maybe enhanced sensors. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, oh, they have the point defense. I keep forgetting about that, because that's actually kind of handy, because now the point defenses are kind of equivalent to my light cruisers, but still questionable if that's the best upgrade, mind you, I won't lie, but with my, at least for my Cobras, I think it can go without saying. With my ability to spawn them, the extra turrets are definitely incredibly valuable for them, especially if I spawn them underneath some bombers and have them fly with them to maximize the point defense. Maybe it's not so much for my other ships, especially my Widowmakers, which are kind of just avoiding the fight in all seriousness, so I may, in all honesty, just consider taking them out, because they're not going to be near the rest of my fleet. If anything, they're going to be behind them, so the point defense is limited in its use, I argue. And we'll try and get some actual damage potential out of these things, because they only got torpedoes, and I have shown I can at least get some torpedo fires off with my frigates, so long as I'm actually paying attention to them. Last episode, I was really bad about micromanaging and watching my light cruisers, in all honesty, so I somehow doubt that's not going to be the case, but I'm going to try and tweak it and get a little more potential out of these ships regardless. So it's still handy. Alright, Space Station Assault. This is going to be fun, because I know what I'm going to be doing, but I don't have to worry about torpedoes, so the ultimate question of the day. Do I rely on the Dictator or not? Do I go full-on long-range macro power here with the Tyrants? It's not a terrible idea, mind you, because I have the space station to kind of defend my positioning there. I just gotta be very, very damn careful of... Well, I don't have any beacons to throw on them. That's a bit of a concern as well, so I do need to be mindful of that. Is this the route I want to go? Because the bombers aren't going to really do a lot if he has like a Stig or even like the other one, but I like the long-range potential. I just can't be aggressive with my Cobras, because this was the mission type that crashed the game on me before from spawning too many Cobras, so... And with the ability to spawn 6 Cobras all at the same time if I so wish, that probably is the most likely situation most likely outcome we're going to have if I get aggressive there, so need to be mindful of that. So I think the Cobras are strictly going to be for spotting for me if the Widowmakers are in too awkward a predicament that they might get sniped, so I will need to be mindful of that. I do want to... I also have the space station to give vision for me too, so that helps a lot in that regard too, so... Unless he has the Dissolution... It's not the spoiler, it's the Desolator. I completely forget what the Chaos Battleships are called, damn it, but... He only has like 2 possible ships with torpedoes, so I'm confident a dang battle station with its fighters can help deal with that. And I also have mines, so I want to deter him a little bit. Not that drastically, but deter him a little bit here too. So, let me group up everything. And where do I want to put these mines? What do I want to deter him from doing? Well, really, I think I want to just clump them together for a really brutal torpedo salvo a little bit. I don't want him to take a direct route. And I want to kind of potentially deny him using these gas clouds to kind of like as a fallback point. At least a little bit. But let's not get too ridiculous, because the idea is to kind of focus where he flies so that way my torpedoes can also hit him. And I don't think this is going to be very helpful having asteroids over there or mines over there, so these are more for deterrent, and if possible just chip them down, get some extra free damage in some form. It's kind of hard to get value at the mines, at least in terms of damage, so in all honesty, let's just make sure he just has to maneuver around them for my possible torpedo shots. So, 5 ships there, 3 are clumped up. We got a Hellbringer. I do need to be mindful of that, of his beacons, but with the space station it's not a big deal because he already kind of sees them. So, where's the beacon going? Do I have to worry about the Widowmakers getting seen at all? So, 2 Acrons, that's no surprise. Not too much in the slice anyway. And he has like the extended lances, that's almost given. No, well, I'm not actually I'm not seeing extended lances. I see just over. So he's got 12,000 range lances, so that's perfect for me. I'm okay with that. I may have bit too tight of a clump though. I'm starting to realize here with my overlords and that, so let's be careful. Detect me all you want. Let me just make sure my controls don't rebel on me some. At your command. So I think my control is getting a little bit bad here, just a little bit, but I can have my Widowmaker spot for me some. And I know where he's hiding, and if possible, maybe his solid run is going to be really lackluster here. We'll see what happens. He doesn't quite have a Stig though. So once I have sensors, I'll have macro cannons. I could do some more shooting on him. Just gotta make sure I'm in range. So not very intimidating damage just yet. But let me try and kill something here. I don't know what exactly to kill, mind you, but I could take these lance hits relatively well. I'm just wondering if I should lock on, that's all. So if I can get a lance hit on the engines, that'd be good. Now he's detected, so that's fine. That's fine there. Let's be careful of these beacons. Keep this moving. We have torpedoes to maneuver. And I could keep spying him. I have the sensor range, even with just my station there. So, Widowmaker, you reposition, because he's going to try and snipe you. So let's not allow that, shall we? Not in the slightest, and fire torpedo force a move from this Hellbringer too, shall we? So, Widowmaker should be safe for the time being. I have shield transfer still. We already know that my shield transfers are available. I have 5 shield transfers, quite frankly, for which I could put on a single ship, mind you, but I could take these hits really well. I just gotta make sure my positioning is really good otherwise. Because this is probably the first time in a long while I had to really be concerned about my positioning. And I can't reveal, do I? There's no point in a Cobra just yet until I'm confident all my ships can shoot. Oh, that's kind of low value for a stasis bomb, but oh well. Come on, throw your beacon. You know you want to. Alright, so we know what his plan is. Just gotta make sure I will have vision. I just gotta be careful about... I gotta make sure I do damage here, which is gonna be hard to do, but forces him to panic. So, is there any way I can do damage? He's just gonna play this game of cat and mouse some. Which is okay. Let him take his time. Just gotta, again, be careful of the shield transfers. Take the hits as gracefully as possible and silent run if necessary. He has to burn a beacon, which gives me so much time. Because now, that's one less beacon for him. He throws another beacon, which is going to be somewhat short-lived. Not much, mind you, but it's going to be short-lived. So, he's going to... Not a lot I could do there, but... Let me just shoot and hopefully kill some engines. In all honesty, I may want to just kill the deck. And Salt Run's still going to be available once that beacon flies by, so... Nothing exciting here, folks. I apologize for this really lackluster match. He'll get impatient sometimes if he hopes to win. If he actually wants to win. With a level 10 fleet, I wonder what his game is otherwise, so... And with this Widowmaker in place, I don't have to worry about getting sniped so much, so long as my positioning is ideal. Now, we could turn for torpedoes. Actually, yeah, we got all macro weaponry firing. And I want to kill a deck. Well, destroying the deck doesn't matter there. So destroying the generator, it's the devastation deck that I want to destroy ideally, if at all possible. So, supercharged void shielded up. Let's hide this thing. So, we can get out of the stasis bomb relatively well. The beacon's going to be pretty limited for time being. And I do have a silent run. There. And I'll have another silent run in a moment. So, hide this thing quickly. It is in the way of station, mind you, but I can still shoot. I could still shoot. I could lock on. If I can get away with it, I'm going to lock on. Do what damage we can. Force him to dance. Activating tactical cogitators. And he's going to try and pop a beacon on this, so I think it's going to happen at some point. And with my range, I can get some damage in. I just got to make sure it sticks. Yes, Admiral. Your orders? So, we got a belt. We destroyed the belt armor, so we are starting to win the attrition game some. I just gotta be mindful of Widowmaker's spot, so I do have a backup Widowmaker still. That's not really doing much, mind you, but I'm in good shape. I apologize, folks, for the lackluster match, but I think it's safe to say I was in a really good position there. Yes, Admiral. There wasn't really anything you could do. I have the shield transfers, and I did burnt his beacons. I don't know how many auger beacons he had, mind you, because they're all right. There's two right there, but there'd be no way he can force an engagement on me without those beacons to stick on a cruiser. And again, he did not even have extended range on his lances too, let's keep that in mind. So, if he was in range of my weaponry, well, once he gets in range, he's basically in range of my plasma macros, and with a Widowmaker that works relatively well. Never mind the fact I can easily use this station spot for me too, even if I didn't have the Widowmakers available for whatever reason, so... Not the most exciting in terms of action, but very strategic, very positioning oriented. Since I didn't even get really much of any hits with the torpedoes, let's not kid ourselves, so... We were starting to whittle him down, we were winning that attrition game. Because again, he was relying on his lances to do critical hits too from what we saw of his upgrades, so... So long as my shields are up, he cannot get any critical hits with those lances. He would have to rely on torpedoes or bombers at that, if you want to break down my generators, break down my weaponry, or anything like that, so... He was pretty much making no ground. I basically hard countered his strategy a little bit, so long as I was smart about not making myself easy to get shot at. Because he can still do a lot of damage to my shields after all. He can do a lot of damn damage there. I just thankfully had the shield transfer to help mitigate that. And of course, the frost pattern shields probably helped a little bit. Maybe not as much as, say, just increasing the health of my shields, mind you, but that's kind of why I chose the frost patterns over the extra, additional void shields, because it synergizes a little bit better with the shield transfers, at least getting them back up to full strength if they were taken down for whatever reason. That's why I take these, and they do have other value too, just very minor ones, mind you, but that's my thought process with this upgrade, at least. And it shows. Well, this is going to be a nice treat. We're fighting, I'm going to assume, another brand new player with almost a fully level 1 fleet, so I'm going to be generous like I did before with my 450 points, but what is my strategy still? Because with his lack of cruisers, torpedoes are really damn good against his sauces, but that's almost too cruel if he doesn't know how to dodge them at the same time, so I think I'm going to forego that strategy and just brute force him down. Just play maybe a game of attrition, which you know is asking for disaster when you consider the fact he has, what, 325 points, so attrition game I'm probably going to lose in, because the Tau have amazing firepower if I stay on their front, their prow, so I am probably going to lose this matchup just because of that strategy altogether, but I know for a fact if he cannot dodge or anticipate the torpedoes, oh, he's going to feel a miserable death, because the one major weakness of Tau that can be countered once they start getting cruisers in the battleship is that they are so damn wide with when their prow is facing you, so if you want to maximize your firepower, you have to leave yourself so vulnerable to those torpedoes, especially if you have no fighters to help defend you, which it is still possible, but they are incredibly expensive with the Daedalus, mind you, because that's what, 170 points, almost 180 to include the 2 extra frigates that go with that ship, if you want to have said bombers, so it is by far a lot more valuable to maybe have the Protector if your main concern is having those fighters available, so unfortunately he does not have that convenience, and this is a bad deployment zone. Thankfully I'm not using torpedoes, so I could use them more of as a shield, quite frankly, at positioning. And I gotta keep in mind my Dauntless also has the Minoza pattern drive, so it's actually gonna be moving ahead of even my frigates in all honesty, so it's gonna be taking point. We have a lot of lances. It's gonna be a really damn straightforward mission though. Nothing exciting here, no flashy movement in all honesty. We're just gonna brute force them down and try to preserve our fleet. Ooh, he may actually have a Daedalus here. So Daedalus in the middle, 2 Wardens, Messenger, maybe a Castellan or 2. If he is going for single cruiser, it's really hard to say in all honesty. But for him to have 6 ships with that much, he's either got a lot of messengers, or he does have the Daedalus. We will see what happens. This is going to be a game of attrition there, and I have to be really good about spraying up my damage as well. So, with that said, let's try and tighten up our formation some. Have the frigates be covered at least somewhat by the Dauntless. So that way the firestorms can keep behind it, safe from an easy snipe potentially. And then that way, actually it helps if I can group up my firestorms, because I never did invest that much effort to, and I don't want to rotate my camera either, so we'll just manage them individually then. And I actually do have this debris I can use as well, for at least putting my ships behind, because the one main thing I have going for me is I know how to at least get value out of my ships. I know how to get full potential out of my prow. I have lances to negate his armor at least, so I should be good in that regard. And we will detect them momentarily. I can throw a beacon on and start firing right away in all honesty, which isn't a terrible idea considering all my lances will be really good at hitting his frigates, so let's do that. Start unloading. Sadly I'm just barely out of range, but this confirms what I was thinking. He has a Daedalus or a Borkon. Yeah, so I did that a little bit early because my lances were nowhere within firing range. But the Dauntless has the bonus damage to shield, so it's worth shooting there. And now the big question, what do I prioritize? It is a Borkon, but do I prioritize the Borkon and go for the easy kills with my damage potential? So, I'm going to buy me... I was going to say maybe I should silent run to buy me some breathing room, but I don't think it's a good idea. Actually, I could just ram these things too. That's not a terrible idea. Especially if he's going to focus on this thing. Nothing exciting. I have the health and armor. I just got to be mindful my prow before his railguns start firing. There, so I think that's enough of a defense there. So can we destroy his prow with this thing? It's actually a part of the weapon systems, mind you. So rotate, finish off that. Repair. That frigate's gone, and now we got ourselves a nice prow shot. Or a broadside, so. He knows how to maneuver at least. But now I'm in his rear. I gotta be very wary of him turning to try and ram though, because he might do that in a moment here. But now I get free fire. Actually, I want these all to rotate and dodge. Oh, am I suffering lag now? Yeah, I'm suffering lag now, I think, because it feels like the rotation wasn't effective as I would like. So, get moving. Keep shooting this level 1. Maybe he'll pull it out if... Okay, I think we're okay here. My brace for impact is gone, mind you, but I have Firestorm shooting at him. Just gotta make sure I spread out the damage, maximize my potential, and be mindful of these seeker missiles. All the while, I am out of boosters on my Dauntless, so it needs to take the hits as much as the hits as possible. And yeah, this thing is dead momentarily, and his seeker missiles are hitting himself, so this is not gonna end well for our friend. So let's give him the ram he so desperately wants. And if that insubordinates, then that's a good thing for him, quite frankly. Hold fire. Let it warp out. It is heavily damaged, mind you, but it should survive. I'm not that cruel. Although, thank God he did not try to ram my swords. Although, he still would have took an amazing amount of damage, mind you, but I think I still would have been on the better end. He probably would have still been on the better end of that if he used his brace for impact. So it's really hard to say, and I'm about to have my assault run. So let's now hide our ships. We have the means to hide them. So finish off this messenger with my Dauntless. It's got his shields back up, so it's safe. And try not to ram my own ships in the process. There we go, perfect. I got like a hull breacher something with the turret. So, that's all she wrote, I think. It's very generic, it's not very exciting, which is kind of why I enjoy the torpedoes so much. There's a lot of maneuvering, a lot of repositioning, especially if your opponents are also using torpedoes. It adds a very different dynamic than just this A-move centric type of style that I'm kind of been utilizing, isn't it? So, after trying to be a little more generous, having potentially being the underdog here, because after all, I don't think my Dauntless has any improvements to its shields, its durability, aside for the belt armor, which even then I don't even think I took a critical hit that warranted the belt armor in that matchup, so I was pretty much fighting an uphill battle outside of the extra 50 shields I had on my Firestorm, so he had every potential to win that match. He just needs to learn how to get the most out of him, I think. Especially knowing when to ram with that Borkon. Sure, it's 400 health, but with a good brace for impact and good proximity, he can rapidly kill my frigates if I'm not paying attention, because I was really damn close to him. Let's not kid ourselves. He would mitigate all that damage, and my Firestorms, the main reason why ramming is so good is because it's only 50 armor all around, so I'm still taking a lot of damage versus his 75 of his adaptive deflector prow, so if you can get the brace for impact on top of that, he could have easily dealt with these if I was caught off guard and not micromanaging him, and it felt like I was micromanaging him a little bit there. I don't know if it was due to latency or what, but there was a moment there he could have just heavily damaged them. I don't know if a lock-on is a good idea for that close proximity, because they do have a bonus to not getting hit once I find them. Yeah, was it minus 20 to accuracy even at point-blank range, so that is still pretty potent. It justifies a lock-on if the frigates are your priority, but the Dauntless did an amazing job soaking up all the hits there. It was pretty close to being heavily damaged, mind you, but it did its job admirably. So, I'm going to try for maybe one more, I think, before we end off. Alright, 700 points. We kind of already know what Boss was fielding with his last matchup there. We had Devastation, 2 Acherons, Hellbringer, maybe 2 Hellbringers if I was so crazy. Maybe he had 2 Hellbringers and had foregone his battleship altogether. So, what I would love more than anything is beacons. Only problem is I have 2 beacons available to me. The Dauntless and the Dictators. Only problem is I like to also go top heavy, a little top heavy here. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, but more shield transfers the better, I feel like. Let's try and end this off on a big bang here. And I know he has at least before only fielded 1 cruiser. Is this the route I want to go? I'm relying a lot on a single Widowmaker if I go this route. Which isn't entirely true because I have 4 Cobras that serve as backup. I think we have no real risk here. We have a lot of torpedoes. We're going to have to fire in a wide arc though, I think, if we're going to get those hits we want, because he is not against boosting away, and I'm going to make him dance for me. It's going to be a good time, but it remains to be seen what he's utilizing. Ooh. And I could take good advantage out of that gas cloud. Maybe not so much due to auger disruptors, mind you. I only have a single auger disruptor, but it's a good fallback point. It's a good point for me to use instead of silent running. That's the big value right there. I maybe can forego not doing the silent running. So if I could secure that position but not leave it, have it not get beacon all to hell, that's going to be good for me. And also, it forces him to use his beacons as well, so there's a benefit in that regard regardless. It means less beacons he could stick on me, although I never did check to see what kind of beacons he was firing, so let's do something a little bit different here, shall we?
Yes, Admiral.
So let's fire really wide, shall we? Really damn wide. I don't care about hitting too terribly well. Oh, and he's also firing from the right there. So turning is not a terrible idea. I could turn easily enough. I again have... what am I doing? I need to watch the trajectory, not the position it's coming from. So that was dumb on my part. Oh well. Not a lot he could do about it just yet. Let's just try to avoid dodging some. And also tighter turns also warranted, I think, too. And I'm not reloading just yet, and it looks like we may just dodge this relatively quickly. So far so good. I never did check for torpedo hits if we got anything, so that's fine there. Make him dance, it's the strategy. All I want is to make him dance, and we know where he's going to go with the structure here, maybe. Let's just get our facing all right. I'm probably going to get detected at the last moment, so that kind of stinks. Just barely. That is unfortunate, but 2-minute cooldown. Just gotta play it slow and proper, and if we can get some extra torpedo hits, that'd be great. Because again, this gas cloud is my greatest strength, and I'm gonna utilize it. So, we are gonna get some hits there. Unfortunately, cannot prioritize the torpedoes, so 1 hit, 2 hits. So that's all good, and his carrier ship's not in a good position to support. So your onslaught's doing very little if you're going to spread out as much as you are. I hate to break it to you. But we got to be mindful of the range. Keep in mind his positioning there. And fire some torpedoes. So, let's get some shots off, shall we? Now, I want to just destroy the shields. That way it makes my lances all that much more valuable. And I know what to do here, and I do have a gas cloud to force his beacons, so just gotta keep an eye on the Widowmaker. So take your hits there, buddy. Let's deal with his scouts some. Keep an eye on the upgrades. Keep an eye on the skills. And we're not going to get the gas cloud just yet, but let's get on out, shall we? Now, shield transfer. That was the wrong button, damn it, because I hate these abilities and their hotkeys. So, let's try and get some hits in. Yeah, this is taking hits. I got solid running for that, so that's an easy fix. And there's the value of the shield transfers right there, because I saw it had 100 shield health, so that's clearly not the case. So use your beacons as much as you can. Get some more shots off. I'm not going to lock on or anything like that, but We do have means to detect them. We just gotta get the best opportunity to shoot them. This is gonna be a little bit tricky. But I do have vision. I have the sense of range to spot him, and he is playing a little bit chicken here, so... Do I salt run with my other ships? I don't think I need to, in all honesty, because I have torpedoes for this. Let's just make sure my torpedoes are firing the best arc possible here. Now, let's continue on to the gas cloud. This will force a beacon out of him. If he wants this position, or he wants to make me not get value out of it. Alright, so that's the same one I aimed at, so that's fine. Slow and deliberate. I don't need to rush anything. I can bully him with these torpedoes relatively well, and he doesn't have the fighters to kind of brute force my stuff down. So, gas beacon is mine. I gotta be careful again if this Widowmaker gains spotted, so take preemptive measures. So, take some lance hits. So, that's fine. That's one beacon I forced out of him. I am perfectly fine with that. Take your shots, split your damage. You are not optimizing very well there, although I have a lot of raw health anyway, so... Not as exciting as I make it sound. I just gotta make sure this thing's actually in the gas cloud. It's kinda hard with the 3 dimensions to know when I'm actually out of the beacon, mind you. So do need to be careful. But I got damn good position here. I just gotta make sure I'm hitting him, that's the problem. And I'm not in range, so that was a bit of a whiff. At least a little bit. So let's get some torpedoes in, shall we? Because he's got a nice clump here. And it's going to feel really good with my torpedoes when they start hitting. Although sadly, some of those torpedoes did hit my battleship a little bit, so really tight formation. But at least it was so close that I can't it's not doing damage to me. That's the one plus there. Although my Overlord Tyrant took a surprising amount of damage, I'm not gonna lie. So, once these generators die, that's gonna make it a lot easier for him. He does have belt armor, so it's not an easy thing to do. But I enjoy the prospect that I have the torpedoes that gives me that ace in the hole, basically. So I still have assault running, that's fine. I have a shield transfer. So now it's the question, what is he going to focus on? Probably the one with the shields down. Okay, boost these out. Tyrant, you can just stay there. Widowmaker goes on out. And we could just assault run real easily here, if necessary. Unfortunately, I did do a bit of a mistake there, because now he can stick a beacon on me. Not anymore, though. Not until he wants to put another beacon down. Come on, fire another beacon, or do you not have one? So, these are going to hit. These are criticals. And I'm hoping... Damn it, did I? Seriously? Did I accidentally hold fire? That's a shame. I took some damage, but nothing too serious just yet. I gotta get these fleet moving now. Now, kill what we can, and also be mindful of that the beacon. That's going to be a bit of a problem with this positioning, but we are getting torpedo hits still. So, let's just reposition. We still have torpedoes. Let me just make sure the components are targeted I want targeted. Because I took a solid hit from those lances due to a little bit of misplay, and my ship's being spread out for a shield transfer, but we're in good shape still. And I still have repairs available, so it's just a matter of burning down his beacons, or what is it, his belt armor, so I can get some good value out of these hits. So more torpedoes are coming up. Let's get ready for that, shall we? Widowmaker, you get in position. And I really hope I'm not hitting myself with these torpedoes. That's what scares me right now. Because again, I don't need fission. I don't want to fly that, ideally. And we are getting more torpedo hits. Ooh, that's damn good hit. Of course, because silent running is so prevalent here, I can't really risk doing anything. I do have a beacon. No, I don't have a beacon, actually. I'm relying on my Cobras a little bit for said roll. And that's good for burning his fire, his weaponry some. So, can we kill this ship? Is the big question. Because that's on all sorts of fire right now. So, Augur Disruptor is fine. Because not all his ships are hitting just yet. I do not have... Oh, he is warping out now, so... He knows when he's lost, I guess. So I applaud him for that, although... I am going to say something interesting here that he proclaimed to me once. Way back when. I could be mistaken for another player, but he openly admitted he was using some kind of bot or hack. I don't know if that's entirely true. It is still really enjoyable matches, so it's hard to say. It could be another player, mind you, because he was a little more open, probably not as negative as he is right now, so I'm probably mistaken for someone else, but he was a Chaos player, and this was somewhere around the championships, mind you. So I had 2 Chaos matches with someone who claimed he was using cheats or hacks or something like that, and he still lost his matches there against me. One was a Cruiser Clash, another was an Assassination, so it's not like he had the easiest way to win with an Assassination, mind you, but I think that may be the same person, but I could be wrong. He seemed a little more open to admitting it when he told me about the bug. This seems like a different person altogether, but still. I enjoy those kind of tactical matches. I apologize for how boring they were, because it is kind of reminiscent to what my Chaos versus Chaos Mirror matches are. Almost exactly. The big difference, of course, is I don't have the instant damage. The instant damage and the guaranteed hits of lances, at least in comparison to Acrons, mind you. But I still found that to be a very satisfying match. I just apologize if maybe it was not as enjoyable for you to watch. But a victory is still a victory, and I forget which Dauntless I selected. It does not look like it was the level 9, unfortunately. So I missed out on some experience there, but this will probably be the last video I do for this year. At least for the holidays, I'm going to be taking at least a week off there from video content, and we are going to be going to 2018 with hopefully fresh eyes. Enjoy a few days off, because it feels like I've been, ever since the Championship Series, I've kind of been a little bit burnt out with Battlefleet Gothic, I'm not going to lie, so I am still glad to still be continuing this series, even though there does not seem to be much potential for the future, because due to the lack of content updates, mind you, additional content, patches, and all that, doesn't seem the most promising for Battlefleet Gothic right now, but we will see what happens in 2018. I'm going to continue enjoying Battlefleet Gothic as much as I can. I really do enjoy this game, even though at some point I feel having a full level 10 fleet is going to get boring really quickly, especially if I never lose, so it is a nice treat to be able to try and figure out orcs, and if I can get more matches with Eldar, that's going to be a lot of fun for me as well. So, thank you to everyone who supported the channel for supporting the Battlefleet Gothic series at least, and here's to hoping 2018 is a good year for us. Have a happy holidays to everyone.